Okay, so in this lesson, this lecture, we're going to do a real life example of a cross-site scripting attack. So we've got this website and we found this due to a Google Doc search. So as a Google Doc, we might type in something like this in URL, PHP cat. So this one here, let's have a look at Google Doc searches first. So basically, Google Doc has its own engine. Google has its own engine for searching for things that are sensitive and stuff like that. So let's have a look at the Google Doc syntax. And then I'll explain one of the queries I can type in. Let's have a look at smart searching with Google Doc in Exposure Invisible. Seems like a good website. So smart searching with Google Docs. We've got the site, which means that's just saying, this is the site we want to search for. The file type. So what this will do is this will search for the site tacticaltech.org with all the file types PDF. And if you type that into the search engine, it will just come up with all PDFs to do with related to that site. See, all the PDFs are right there. Now, in text means that anything on the page is displaying exposed in title, they're visible, will get displayed in the search results. This is a very fancy way, and I'll have the syntax attached in the description, and you can have a study of that. So let's have a look at this example of this site. Let's have a look at this site. So I've got burp here. I'm just going to get rid of the scope of that and just I'm going to insert fine fragrance. I can't even say it into scope. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with turning on no XSS and just searching for that. So I'm going to browse around, search for things, and click on things and see what I can find. And what no XSS is going to do, it's going to scan for cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. Does take a while to work, and it is sometimes slow. So that will work, but I'm not going to do it in that example. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to get out of this because this is crashing on me. But no XSS will work, but I'm going to do it manually because I find that's the best way to do it. So let's do some manual testing on cross-site scripting for the site. I'm just loading up Chrome because it's playing up on me for some reason. It has been lately. So I will just get out of this and I'll get into Chrome and I'll reload burp because that might work better if I reload burp. So I'm opening up Chrome, open up burp. Got burp opened here. I'm going to open up Firefox. Firefox is not working for some reason. Let's have a look, see what's going on here. I've got my CPU all the way up really high. So let's get out of Firefox. Do you know what? I have a feeling the no XSS plugin is playing up on me. Alright, here we go. Firefox is open. Let's go to the website, which is finefragrance.com.au. That's a really confusing word. And in our match and replace, we're going to first of all add this in scope, and I'm going to sort out by only showing in scope items. Now, as you see in my match replace, I'm going to add a request parameter value, and I'm going to replace, say, XSS with this XSS payload. And I'm going to go OK. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put XSS everywhere. So I'm going to put XSS in the search because searches are very common to find cross-site scripting. Boom, we have found a cross-site scripting vulnerability. Now another thing we can do is we can do it manually, so we can attach, we can just put in like ASDF, like so. And then what we can do is we can send this to Central, and this will help us detect cross-site scripting. Remember what I said, Central is a really good program to detect SQL injection and cross-site scripting. And we want to do this in reflected value, which is this, which is the search text value. So let's send that to Central. Ooh, what's going on? It's very glitchy here. Just wait. It's going very glitchy. Well, what is going on here? Just wait a minute. Okay, it's tested it, and it said it's vulnerable for sure. It's very, I think it's just because I've got, it's just very glitchy, but it's set up here. If I just quickly get yes, it says vulnerable for sure, and it's tested out all the payloads, so it's vulnerable. So Central is a really good program to detect for cross-site scripting. So I've done it that way. Let's just try no XSS one more time and see if this will work. So let's turn on no XSS. And let's just search for something. Let's just search for something random. The test has started, so let's just wait for it to detect something. Let's search for something like ASDF. Maybe it needs to test it with something to search for. So it's testing the whole site for cross-site scripting. It's very slow at doing it, but it is a good way of doing it. But it must just be because I've got an outdated Firefox version, but it usually does work really well. But another way we can do it is we can use a program called XSS Strike, which is another really good program to find cross-site scripting. So let's open up my terminal and let's download XSS Strike. I'm going to show you a couple of tips on how we can find XSS with XSS Strike. So I'm going to first of all install it, like so. I'm going to copy down the vulnerable link, which is this one here. I'm just going to get out of Firefox. I don't need that anymore. I'm going to go into XSS Strike by typing in cd XSS Strike, and I'm assuming it runs on Python 3. Let's type in Python 3 XSS Strike. Perfect. Now let's test for the URL, this one here. So, whoops. So what it provides these arguments. So it provides the fuzzer, which will fuzz for cross-site scripting, inject payloads. You can encode payloads. You can put the post data. You can also specify the target URL, which is what we're just going to do now. You can also specify your own payloads file, the level of crawling, and some other various payloads like blind and things like that. We're just going to do this one, and we're going to test for this one here. So let's just run that. It's going to check for DOM XSS first. It's going to test the parameter search text. It found run reflection. Now it's generating some payloads, and it's going to inject it. This is the payloads it's testing for now. So let's let that run. It's found a payload that worked. The efficiency is 94. The confidence is 10%. So this might not be a payload that works, but we'll find out because we'll manually test this. I know that this will work because I know that this will work. I just have a feeling. Because I've got a feeling that pretty much any website will be vulnerable. Not any website.
I didn't catch
any payload will be vulnerable. So that's another one that's 93 efficiency. Sorry about that text, that speech to text. Let's open up Firefox, or text to speech, or whatever they call it. Let's open up Firefox now and let's try out this payload. It's found a lot of payloads that will work. Actually, we'll use Chrome. So let's open up Chrome, or open up a new tab, new window. Okay, so let's paste in that URL and let's paste in one of these payloads. I've got a feeling it will work, but let's try it out just in case it doesn't. And it works. Awesome. It works. So pretty much all these payloads are going to work. But another thing we can do, just to make things work better, is we can crawl. So we can start off like right here. Let's go to help. So just at the root domain. And we can type in crawl. The level of crawling will do 10. And we'll see where we go there. It's going to crawl through all the websites, all the links, click on links and stuff like that, and find XSS. Let's give that a shot. It's found vulnerable bootstrap. It's found some XSS. Now it's looking for all the parameters that it could be vulnerable with. It's parsing all the links and stuff. And then it should detect cross-site scripting. XSS Strike is a very powerful tool for finding cross-site scripting. So that's going to go ahead and check. It's going to get all the endpoints, everything, and try and test for them. It's getting details.php ID. Let's actually decrease the level of crawling because that's going to take a long time. Let's just do 2. And you'll find that this will actually detect cross-site scripting again. It will. We'll just let that load and we'll let it find the cross-site scripting vulnerability. It's found a vulnerable web page. Products.php is vulnerable and the vector is cat. How good is this program? And it's also found another parameter that is vulnerable. Also cat is too. This is a really good program. I love it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this real life example of a cross-site scripting vulnerability. I've gone through Google Doc searches, I've gone through manual testing, automatically testing, and ways to exploit it. So this video was pretty bad. Like I had things that interrupted. I had like the freaking no access that wouldn't work. But you get the rough idea of how to test for cross-site scripting. Now, XSS or cross-site scripting is a very common vulnerability. We're going to move on to stored cross-site scripting, but we can't do a real-life example of that because that will be pretty bad. Like we can't really do that on a website that we haven't got permission to because we can get in a lot of trouble. So, because stored cross-site scripting is a very bad attack, which will get stored on a database and any user will be affected by it. But you get the rough idea. No access was playing up in me. I'll try and do that in another lecture, but you get the idea, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's move on.